You have hopefully a couple blankets. Now, I'm going to change it up on you a little bit today. I want you to have a block. And here's the tough part, because I don't know if you'll be able to see the screen. And this is a really unusual way to start, I know, but there's a reason. I don't know if you'll be able to see the screen, but I want you to find out if you can get to a wall. So I'm going to put my mat against this wall and demonstrate what it is I'm going to ask you to do. Then you'll go to your spot. It might be off screen. You might not be able to see me, and that's okay. But hopefully you can then hear me. And then we'll go through the ohms. So put those blankets against a wall. Then you're going to take your brick. So for right now, maybe just watch, and then you'll set up. Now, you're going to take the brick this direction, the thinnest direction, thin and wide, and you're going to put it between your buttock and the wall. So you're just moving the wall a little bit closer to you with the brick. That's the first thing. And when you do that, you'll back the buttock up. You'll keep the feet under the knees. You'll feel a little bit like someone's pushing you over, but that's okay for now. But what you'll do then, and I'll talk you through it again, just watch. You'll descend the buttock. You'll relax the legs. You have as many blankets as you need so your knees are at the height of your hips. Then once you've done that, we're not spending a lot of time there. It's just to get you in the right position. Then I'm going to remove the brick, and you see how it is the wide distance. So the most narrow part is touching the wall. It's the wide distance. It's the medium height. I put that brick between my upper back and the wall on that medium height. The bottom corner should begin in the middle thoracic spine, which is essentially the line of the bra strap, right? So that's a good landmark. Now, once I've placed that well, oops, it has to be straight. I place my hands on my legs. Again, the buttock descends, the legs release, but my arms turn out. So when you place that brick correctly and you turn your arms, it'll give you the sensation that your inner shoulder blades are trying to hug the brick. Then you'll bring the hands together so it's a really sturdy swastikasana. We'll begin from here. We'll do our oming and our chanting here. Okay? Go on and set that up. So once you've placed the brick, narrow behind your hips and you've moved the buttock back, take the brick to the middle thoracic spine, place it there. Then you can bring the hands down onto your legs. And again, feel from the back waistband that flesh of the buttock goes down. And you'll feel it allows the abdomen to let go a little bit and the legs release also. Then look straight forward with your hands on your thighs. Turn the upper arm bones out. And observe then what happens. The outer shoulder blade rim should begin to firm. You'll feel a grip there. Notice if one side grips and the other doesn't. Try and engage both. And then feel how the two shoulder blades work to hug that brick in your upper back. In other words, your upper back is in. Then bring the palms together, look straight forward. Maintain that turn of your arm. Close the eyes. Soften the face. And yes, the body must remain quite active. Now work to maintain that brick there. And join me for the sound of Om. Feel how that effort in the back is remained. Keep the chest lifted and release the head down towards the heart center. And surrender there. Then release the hands down with the palms up. Lift the head up with closed eyes. And gently open your eyes. Go ahead, lean forward, remove that block, set it aside. Now you're already away from the wall, that's correct. Straighten your legs and bring the heel of your hands onto the sides of your blankets, right by your outer hips. Now you're gonna push the hands down and just a little bit, let the buttock get light, a little floaty. So it's not gonna come all the way off the blanket, it's just a little bit. Now as that happens, push your heel bones forward. Push as if the two buttock bones were pushing your heel bones forward. So really get that. Then bring the weight back to the buttock bones. Keep the heels pushing forward. Look out at your feet now and spread the foot from the mound of the big toe to the mound of the small toe. And as you do that, slowly the mounds of the foot press slightly forward of your heels. Now, as you do that, feel how the back legs, the back groin broadens, your heel bones broaden against the ground. So both of those things are happening in tandem. Heels forward, mounds of the foot broadening. Now take the arms forward and up, hook your thumbs, and lift your arms up out of your waist. Allow the side waist to grow longer. Keep both actions happening in the feet. Heels forward, mound of the foot broadening, so that your back heels also broaden against the mat. They'll have a sense almost of pressing down, so that your kneecaps are lifted, your top front thighs descend, and the tailbone is in as you lift up. The tip of the tailbone should almost feel like it's making a U-turn at the blankets and lifting up to the front chest. Energetically, that's the sensation. Now switch the hook of your thumbs and keep lifting up. Grow longer from inside. And then release the arms forward and down. Okay, so come on up, get rid of that blanket and set it aside, or set them aside. Same with the brick, just set it aside. Now, if you have a folding chair, bring it to your mat at that same wall. If you don't have a folding chair, find any kind of chair or stool, anything you might have around your house. That's approximately the height of a chair, right? Now again, because some of you might be off screen because of my asking you to be at the wall, I want you to come and watch me for a second. Okay, because we're going to do, I'm really focusing on some specific things in class today. So we're going to take Ardha Uttanasana. It's like downward dog, right? It's just your hands are lifted. So watch how I'm going to ask you to do this today. I'm going to turn my hands out on the chair seat. I'm going to put my feet under my hips. This is just the beginning, okay? This one isn't like downward dog. We're going to evolve to that. But when you get back to your spot, I'm going to ask you to do these two things. Watch. I'm turning my upper arms out, and it makes the upper back go in, right? You see it goes in or down towards the floor, quite similar to when you were holding that brick. But now I'm going to approach that differently. Watch. Watch my upper back. I'm going to push down and broaden the space between my upper shoulder blades. Watch, I'm going to do it again so it's visible. It's this area here. I hope you can see. As I push down, that area broadens. Now, keeping that action, also, I'm going to turn my upper arms out. So look, it's not different. It's very similar to what you started with. The difference is, okay, I'm going to let it all go, right? The difference is I'm not just going in there and pinching into my upper back. It's a very different feeling to bring in a broadening and then the turn of the arms, because that keeps this upper portion close to your trapezius soft. Then, with that done, we'll walk the feet back and lengthen this portion, the outer armpits. Lengthen so that the arms lengthen out of your waist again. Okay? We're doing that. So go wherever you need to go so that you have some support. I just don't want the chair to be pushed away, right? Turn your hands out on that chair. So your thumbs point forward and your fingers hook underneath the chair seat. Hands under shoulders, knees under, or feet under hips, right? Now, first things first, just to kind of feel it, bend your elbows a little bit and turn your upper arm bones out. Grip your outer shoulder blades in, and you'll feel your inner shoulder blades also grip towards the midline. It's a very strong, hard action of the upper back. You found it in Swastikasana. It's not incorrect. Now, kind of release that. And then start to push straight down with your hands and feel how you get that broadening between your upper shoulder blades. It's the upper part of the back, and it'll sort of feel like a stretch there. It'll sort of, there's even sort of this doming feeling. Keep the elbows straight. Now, add in the turn of your upper arm bones. And feel how, again, you get the outer shoulder blades to hug in, but the inner shoulder blades aren't quite as harsh. Yes, there's a broadening that comes to your collarbones, and that's what you want to look for. Breathe. Now, keeping that, start to walk your feet back so that the outer armpit opens. Walk your feet back, pull the outer hips back, and lengthen the trunk of the body. As you do that, the outer shoulder blades stay firm, but the whole thing evolves, right? So what it means is you've stabilized your outer shoulder blades onto your upper back. So they're not moving towards your head. Instead, as you lengthen there, the shoulder blades are bringing your side ribs with them away from your waist. So they're stable. The inner neck, the base of the neck should be relaxed. Feel again how the arms lengthen all the way out of the waist. You can even bend your knees a little bit here and pull the outer hip back to get more length. Go for more length in the outer armpits and breathe. Good. Then walk forward and come back up to standing. I'm going to turn my palms flat now. And I'm going to push the hands against the chair. So there's a sense that from inside, I'm going down. And then as I walk back, the outer shoulder blades start to firm in. It's a natural occurrence. So it doesn't have to be so harsh right here, right? Oh, I'm gripping. But as I walk back, I turn my outer arms out, and I can bend my knees a little bit and elongate more and more and more. So you see that my upper back's in. I'm not doing that doming. And it's because I'm making space. I'm making length. Now, you're going to get to there. And then you're going to hear me say, push the heel bones down. It should feel like your buttocks rolling to the heel bones. So now I'm working with the pelvis. So watch the pelvis, right? Because you might bend the knees a little bit to get that length in your arms. Now watch. Buttock to the heels. Then I spread the mounds of the foot, and the back groin opens. This region, the back thigh, back groin. So watch again. Buttock to the heels. Now I'm going to spread from the mound of the big toe to the mound of the small toe. And the front thighs compress back more. So start just like you started before, except this time I'm going to ask you to put your palms flat on the chair seat. So just put them right on the edges, palms down flat. Shoulders over your wrists again, but push down like the two upper shoulder blades spread. It should feel kind of good. You're going to start to walk back, but keep the palms pressing down. Your outer upper arms turning towards the ground. And you'll feel that the upper back becomes stable. Those outer shoulder blades firm into the midline. Go on and bend your knees a little bit here and pull the outer hips back to maximize the extension in your outer armpits. The crown of the head should lengthen and point towards the chair in a soft way. Now, get that maximum distance. And then look at your feet. Now you're going to begin to press your heel bones down and roll the buttock towards the heels. It should feel like your back waist being lengthened. Get most of the weight in your feet to be in your heels, so you really feel that. Again, it'll make space in your low back now. Now, from the mound of your big toe to the mound of the small toe, work to spread the foot in that way. And as you lift up through your knees, feel how that spreading of the mound of the foot helps the spreading in your back thigh bone, even up towards the back groin. Relax the abdomen. Breathe. And then walk the feet forward and come on up to standing. Turn forward to face the computer, feet together. So we're going to do that again in a moment so that it starts to kind of sink in. But for the time being, turn your upper arms out, palms face you, be in Tadasana. Now in Tadasana, just look forward. Now, press the heel bones primarily down and feel the back waist flows downward towards those heel bones. The buttock descends. Turning to the side so you can see that exaggerated action. This arm's only lifted so you can see. Now, keeping that sensation, broaden the mounds of the foot from the mound of the big toe to the small toe and feel how the back thigh broadens in this region so that the front thigh presses back to the back thigh. And then you have to dance with those movements. Heels down, buttock down. Broaden the foot so the back thigh opens. And try and marry those two actions together. So they do happen in equal proportions. You got to kind of think of like, remember when you used to be on the teeter-totter in the playground and you're trying to balance that teeter-totter? You got to balance those two actions. And when you do, something quite magical happens. The outer gluteal muscles, this region, firms to the midline, mid-buttock here. That's where the tailbone is. Then the tailbone is in. Then you're stable. And the spine can begin to extend. So to do that, bring the palms together. Interlock your fingers all the way to the webbing and press the palms forward. If your hands won't do that, you hook your thumbs, but you try and get your hands to do that. Press the palms forward and feel that broadness between your shoulder blades again. Then inhale and begin to take the arms up. Elongate out of the side waist, buttock down, side body lifted up. Broaden the mound of the foot so the tailbone is in. And lengthen up the frontal spine. The frontal spine is from the pubic plate up the front surface of the spine towards your chest. And then take the arms forward and down. And of course, switch the crossing of your fingers. Find your Tadasana legs. Broaden the upper shoulder blades and then inhale. Lift up through the arms. Breathe. And then take the arms forward and down. And stand in Tadasana once again. Palms face the body. Upper arms turning out. So then, come back to your mat with that chair. You don't necessarily need a wall for this, so if you want to come away from the wall, do it. If it's easy enough for you to stay on the wall, just stay on the wall because it gives a little stability. But now watch. We're going to just take triangle pose, simple pose, but you're going to step your right foot directly under the chair. You see, I'm trying to get my foot under there, a good deal. And left foot back. So we're not setting up the way we normally would. But my front heel's aligned with my back arch. The back foot is turned in a little bit. We're going to begin that way with your hands on your hips. Go ahead and get that stance, please. So right foot forward if you can manage that. If you want to face a different direction, just move the chair around or something. Bring the hands to the waist, roll the shoulders back so the chest is lifted. Now you might have noticed the words I've been using to describe how you work with your feet are center heel bone down or buttock to the heel bone, and also the broadening across the mounds of the foot. Now we're going to do both those things again. So your back leg should be your left heel, your left leg. That's how I'm talking about it. Push your left heel bone down. Feel how the left buttock flows into that left heel bone as it descends. And primarily you're working with the heel in that left foot, especially your outer left heel. Keep that area going down. But you can still feel that the front thigh moves back. Take that front thigh back. And before we ever even come down now, keep that left leg, press into the mound of your right big toe. Really firmly press there so that the outer right hip hugs in. So the legs are doing different things. But if you do both those things in earnest, the outer gluteal gathers to the midline and the tailbone's in again. So now keeping those things, bend out over your right leg. This right frontal groin deepens. And you bring your right hand down to the chair. Put the whole palm down. Even if you can take your hand to the floor and touch the ground, I don't care today. I want the heel of your hand right on that chair seat. Now, keep the weight in the mound of your right big toe. Feel how that hugs that right hip beneath you and straight forward to where your gaze is. And when that happens, the crown of the head, really the crown, should feel like it moves back, almost like it's being strung up to the wall behind you. The hip comes forward, the head goes back. Maintain. Press your left heel and press your right heel of your hand down. Left heel down, right heel of the hand down. Exhale, turn your chest towards the ceiling. Relax the abdomen. Press that right heel of the hand down so that your right shoulder blade has a sense of descending. And roll your left shoulder back. Now take your left arm straight up to the ceiling and feel the firmness of that outer left shoulder blade in towards the spine. Then, pressing your left heel a little more, lift from your left arm, inhale and come up. Hands back to the waist, turn your feet in, heel toe, come back together. So I'm really slowing us down today and being very specific. Sometimes this is important, right? So you really get the feeling of some of these things. Turn around, left leg forward now. Right foot back. Align front heel to back arch. Hands on your waist, same stuff. I know I have my back turned to you. If you're looking at the computer screen, that's actually on purpose because I want you to see also what happens in the back. So press the back heel bone down. For most of you, that'll be your right one. Feel how it helps the buttock go out of your lower back. Lengthen the flesh of the buttock out of the lower back. And feel how you can take that left front thigh back also. It'll feel like you're doing too much when you actually can capture the work. Now at the same time, press into the mound of the left big toe. And the legs should become nice and firm. The skin firms to the muscle firms to the bone, and the outer gluteal region gathers and the tailbone is in. Now keep that. You're going to put your left hand right at that frontal hip crease. Deepen that frontal hip crease to bring the body out over the left leg. It doesn't have to go far. And then the heel of the left hand is down. Now, mound of your left big toe. Press it down so this outer left hip comes beneath you. Crown of the head goes back a little. Press the back right heel bone down and the heel of your left hand down well. The left shoulder blade should feel like it flows towards the chair. Then exhale, turn your chest to the right, towards the ceiling. That left shoulder blade still lengthens away from the spine, but as you turn your right shoulder, upper arm out, you'll feel that outer right shoulder blade moves in. Breathe, kind of digest that. Then take your right arm straight up to the ceiling. Keep turning the chest towards the ceiling. Right shoulder blade in. Now press the back right heel down more. Inhale, lift from the right arm and come up. Turn the feet forward. Step your feet together. Padmasana. So now, one more time, Ardha Uttanasana. Put your hands on the seat of the chair. Broaden the back shoulder blade. Feel how the back shoulder now is acting like that bottom arm that we just did in Trikonasana. And then start to walk your feet back and lengthen out of this side butt. But when you do that, the two shoulder blades should become more obvious. It's like the two shoulder blades stamp into your back and towards the ground. If my hands were there, they would be right on top of those two shoulder blades saying, move this area towards the floor, but lengthen out of your side waist. So the outer hips, the other bit I do is pull your outer hips straight back. So feet about hips distance apart. Now, as you lift your knees up, drive the heel bones down. The tailbone goes in. Spread from the mound of the big toe to the mound of the small toe. So the metatarsals of your foot should spread wide. And in turn, feel the back thigh spread from your inner thigh to your outer leg. Good, then walk your feet forward, come on up. Move the chair aside for the time being. I'm just going to move my mat back out to the middle of the room, sort of. And we're doing triangle pose again, but to do again, go back and have your brick now. Okay, so get your brick. We're going to do triangle pose at the brick. I'm not moving all these props away because we're going to get back to them in a second. If you have two bricks, great, get two bricks. That way you don't have to switch it. We're just going to do triangle pose with the bricks. So just getting a little bit more depth. And again, I know many of you, you don't need these props and, That's true. But you know, some days I come in here and really get a lift on my triangle pose. I use lots of props some days. Other days I use no props. It's important to do all those things. So from Tadasana now, buttock down, thighs back, tailbone in. Lift the frontal spine. Then with your inhale, jump. Step if you have injuries, otherwise jump. Uttita Hasta Padasana. So can you rebuild those actions here? Buttock to the heels. Spread the mounds of the foot so the tailbone is in. Now turn the feet to the right. And before you ever come in, drive that left heel bone down and press into the mound of the right big toe. You should feel, I know I feel my frontal groins when this happens. I feel those outer gluteal muscles when I get the legs engaged properly. Now exhale way out over the right leg. Take the hand to the brick and put your whole palm flat on the brick. And left hand to your left waist. Now, look forward. Of course, if you need more height, just take it. No big deal. Look straight forward. Press the mound of your right big toe down so the outer right hip moves forward towards your gaze. But imagine the crown of the head has a little string attached to it and it's tethered to the wall at your back. Then again, press the left heel down and lengthen into the heel of your right hand. So the right shoulder blade goes down. Now keeping that left heel down, exhale, turn your chest to the left. Turn the left upper arm bone out. Keep that back heel down. Take the top arm up. Lift up through the palm of your left hand. But still feel the right shoulder blade goes down and your center chest should feel like it's being dragged up towards that top left hand. Then left heel down, inhale, lift from the left arm, come up to standing. Turn the feet forward, change sides. Right heel down, so that the buttock flesh descends and you don't hang in your lower back. Tremendously important. Mound of the left big toe down. Inhale, and with your exhale, lengthen out over the left leg, deepen that crease. Hand to the brick. And straight away, put your right hand at your right waist. So kneecaps are lifted. Bear weight in the mound of your left big toe and feel the crown of your head tethered back some. That action is sort of a gesture of trust. It's like your upper body gesturing to your legs that they're willing to trust the legs. So now press the right heel bone down and press into the heel of your left hand. So buttock to the right heel, left shoulder blade to your left hand. Relax the abdomen. And exhale, turn the chest to the right. Turn the right upper arm bone out and keep that back heel bone stable, down. Then right arm pulls straight up. Left shoulder blade to your left hand. Center chest to the palm of your right hand and beyond. Work the legs, mound of the left big toe, center right heel more, so that the tailbone comes in and you can start to turn and look upward. The neck should not be terrorized to do that. If it is, undo the neck. Now inhale, lift from that top arm, come up, turn the feet forward. And exhale, jump. Padmasana. Okay, good. I'd like you to get your chair out again. And I'd like you to be able to go to a wall again. And I'll show you why. So watch. The chair will end up being kind of mid-mat. But we're taking Padmasana now. Well, just watch. I'm going to put the heel of the hand can turn out. I don't care too much about that. Back heel against the wall. So you see my back foot turns in, but the heel's on the wall. Then watch. I'm going to do the same very exact stuff with my arms. I'm going to push down, but then I also want to turn the arms out. So if you can see my upper back now, it's in, but it's a little different than just, oh, crank that upper back in. Pushing down, I'm going to turn out. And then we're going to work with the back heel, watch. Buttock to the heel. And now the spreading is a little different in the back leg. The spreading is the back heel against the wall. So, can you see my back heel? It spreads from the inner heel to the outer heel. It's like you're dragging the skin in that direction. Come on, let's do that. Right foot forward, hands on the chair. Left back heel against the wall. Hands right under the shoulders if possible. Push the hands down and bring that width into your upper shoulder blades. Keep that. You can bend the elbows just a little, turn the upper arm bones out, and add in this grip in your outer shoulder blades. Then push the left heel bone down and descend the buttock to that left heel. Feel how, oh, tailbone goes in, right? Now here's the fun part. Broaden your left heel against the wall. From the inner heel, spread to the outer heel. And bring pressure into the mound of your right big toe. And feel how, wow, the tailbone is like literally held by the outer hips. And the collarbones can broaden more. You can work to lengthen out of the side waist, side ribs, forward, more and more and more as time goes by. In fact, you'll even get the sensation, I know I did, of, wow, I really wish I could take this chair forward. Now, switch your legs. We're doing exactly the same thing, super simple. So back right heels against the wall. Start by broadening the upper shoulder blade. Let that area, right, open up a little bit. And I know I'm going slow. Just go slow. Don't be in a hurry. Now bend the elbows a little to the sides and turn the upper arms out. So the outer shoulder blades get a little hug to them. And then you'll feel, okay, upper back's in, my chest is broad. Keep working with that, Jason. Then back heel bone down. Feel the buttock rolls into that back heel bone from your waistband. The buttock should be pulled down to that back heel bone. So much so it's going to feel like your low back rounds. It's okay. Let it happen. Now, broaden the back heel bone against the wall as if someone's stretching the skin from your inner back heel to the outer back heel. Inner right heel to the outer right heel broadens, and press the mound of your left big toe down. And wow, the tailbone should feel like it is in. Now lengthen the side ribs, side waist, side chest, even more forward. Yes, try and get your chest, your sternum to go out beyond the backrest of your chair. And feel how it has that freedom to do that because of the work of the legs and the tailbone. Then just step your feet together, left foot back, right foot forward. Come on up. So we're working this way to make it more possible to bend forward over the leg in, in Parsvottanasana, but also in any pose. So what I'm going to ask you to do, I've done this with many of you before. First of all, you have to know this part, my lower back, has to be willing to round. So from here, I'm going to push the hands down and the buttock down. So I'm getting all this width now. And then I'm going to keep the back heel bone pressing down and sneak my hands to the chair seat. You see how rounded my upper back is. And then it's going to like kind of catapult you forward. You're going to broaden the back heel bone and pull the chest forward. But you see there's not a big dent in my upper back. But instead, you should see the side body wants to go out there beyond my mat. Okay, let's try that. So when you set up, it's the same setup as before, but take your chair just a tiny bit forward so there's room for movement. Okay. Then right foot forward, left heel back. Push the hands down, broaden the back of the shoulder blades. Push the left heel bone down and feel the buttock goes down and the tailbone hugs in. Even press into the mound of your right big toe so you really feel the tailbone in. Now, relax the abdomen, but keep your legs strong. Round the back and get your forearms down. I mean, you might really have to round your back. Go on, do that. Yeah, good, do that so that you can actually get those forearms down there. And there's a few of you that I know have a hard time with that. Press the back heel bone more, relax the lower back, and descend the forearms. Now, good. Mound of the right big toes down too. So the tailbone should feel like, wow, embedded. Now, broaden the back heel bone against the wall. Roll your side ribs towards the outer armpits or the sides of the armpits and pull the collarbones forward some. The upper back won't feel super indented, but you'll feel how that transformation occurs and the collarbones broaden. The base of the neck should be able to relax. You can even use your fingers on the chair to kind of pull so the side body gets linked. Breathe. Check in with the legs. Soften the jaw. And explore that space. Good. Straighten the arms. Step the right foot back, left foot forward, come to standing. Tadasana. Work the legs. And then other side, left foot forward, right foot back. So working this way can almost feel like really like a deep massage, right? Sometimes a deep massage doesn't feel really good all at first. I'm like, oh God, they're pushing so hard, stop, right? Work in that way. So take the hands down and take that back right heel bone down. The back rounds in yoga too, right? So allow for the low back to open. Even bring the weight into the mound of your left big toe and you'll really feel, oh, tailbone. Now keep that, let the back round. Take your forearms down. The abdomen should relax inward and upward. How? By working with your right heel mound to the left big toe. Now, once you're down there, and you'll feel very rounded, that's okay, that's good. Broaden your back heel bone against the wall. It's not like it moves a bunch, it's just it gets pressurized differently. Broaden there and roll the side ribs forward. Breathe, try and pull your collarbones towards the area beyond the chair. And the abdomen has to continually release and transform. Breath soft, breath generous. Good, everybody. And then straighten your arms, step your feet together, and inhale, come on up. Come join me at the screen real quick. I know that's really specific, but did you guys feel how some of that changed the spine and allowed you to get your forearms down and stuff like that? Yeah? Neil, did that make sense to your body? Okay, good, good. So we're gonna keep working with those same actions, because so many of these poses, it's sort of like it's all the same stuff. It's just putting it together differently for each pose. So watch. Actually, let's do Prasarita Padmasana before we do this to release any kind of tension. So that's just legs wide. So, you can come away from the wall a little bit. Step or jump your legs wide. I don't care if you step them or if you jump them today. Hands to the waist. Press weight into the heels, buttock down. And there's so many more actions that go along with these poses, but these are the ones I want to work on today. Heels down, buttock down. Start to notice, does one buttock not go down? I have one buttock that is very stubborn. So you got to kind of start to find what's true. Now broaden the mounds of the foot so the thighs are back, lift the chest. Now keep the lift of the legs. Come forward and put your hands down. Press the heels down so the buttock rolls down. Yes, your low back will round. You can even do that with your hands, just like we did before. Press the hands down, let your back round. Then broaden from the mound of the big toe to mound of the small toe. By the way, your hands should be under your shoulders. I didn't say that. Broaden from the mound of the big toe to mound of the small toe and observe how your knees keep lifted, but the back thigh can broaden. It follows that action. And the side body lengthens forward. Keep the abdomen soft. Walk the hands back to the space between your feet and begin to bend the elbows to take the crown of the head down. And if you need a little height for your head, that's okay. But feel how, thanks to the press of the heel, the buttock descends out of the low back. Press the inner hand down and lift the shoulders up away from your ears. Yes, the back rounds. Yes, that's correct. Abdomen deflating. Keep dancing with that sensation of buttock down, heels down, but broadening the mounds of the foot from big toe to small toe so that the back thigh opens. Marry those two actions together as if balancing on a teeter-totter. My husband and I went to my old grade school the other day, and we're just walking around. And we were like, oh, the teeter-totter. And we sat on either side of the teeter-totter. It was like, ooh, we're going to break the teeter-totter. It was like a super old wooden teeter-totter. I think it's exactly the one that was there when I was a kid. It was very funny. Now straighten the arms, lift the chest. You can heel toe the feet in a little if it helps. Hands on your waist. Heels down, inhale, lift your chest, come up. Step your feet together. Padmasana. Watch. We're going to bring the mat to the wall again. You're going to bring the chair back to the mat again. Firstly, you're just going to sit and make some distance. I'm being super formulaic today. And it's just to help us kind of get some deep actions in so that we can move forward. So you see, when I sit here, I put that chair right in my upper back. I'm just going to open the upper back a minute. So watch how I'm going to do that. I'm going to put my feet down. I've got my hands on the floor so I can put my upper back right there on the chair, right at the bra strap line. I lift my hips, the head lies back, buttock to the back of my knees. This part's simple, right? Feet, hips, distance, inner heels are down. Now watch what my hands are going to do. I take them under the seat of the chair and I hold on to the back, or I take them under the backrest, sorry. And I hold on to the back of the seat of the chair with my fingers. Outer upper arms turn to the ceiling. In essence, I'm making space between my shoulder blades. And then I slowly descend the hips as I point the elbows or roll the elbows back. And then you just do that as much as your body can and wants to. You can go up, you can go back and forth a little. You keep the outer arms turning to the ceiling. Triceps, here's my tricep, flows towards the elbow. And this takes your bottom shoulder blade deeply in. And it really gives a sensation of what that means. Then you'll just release and sit down. Do that first. Face the wall if you can, because we're going to use the wall in a second. Bring the chair kind of close. You got to kind of lift your hips, put your hands on the floor. That's it, Jason. Lie the back down, lie your head down, lift your hips up. And it should be easy then. You're like supported on the chair. Heels under your knees, feet, hips, distance. Just make your legs comfortable. Then the hands dive back. So the hands dive back under the backrest. You can walk your shoulder blades down the back. Hold the back portion of the chair seat. Now, before you do anything, turn the outer upper arms to the ceiling and press your inner heels down so it feels like your tailbone points to the ceiling also. Breathe through the nose. And then with your exhale, begin to descend the buttock down and flow the tricep towards your elbow, towards the wall behind you. And feel how, oh, those shoulder blades are pressed into the back. And you can go back and forth a little bit. Keep the neck soft. Neck has nothing to do with it. Head just rests on the chair. Low back long. And just go in and out there a little bit, massaging those shoulder blades in. Base of the neck should be soft. Upper shoulder blades stay wide. All of those things. Breathe. Don't be afraid. You've got it. Your heels are down. Go in and out and deepen. Then just let go of your hands and sit your buttock down on the floor. Yep. Voila. Good. Okay. Now watching it. Let's see. Okay. So now I'm actually using this distance of the chair to the wall. So I shorten, I put it right at my upper back, right? I look where the feet of the chair are. I move away and I bring that chair another 2 inches closer to the wall. Now listen, we're gonna do headstand, right? Head balance, Sirsasana. If that's not for you, if you're not gonna head balance, that's okay. Or if you're on your cycle, don't. What you do instead is you just take your legs up the wall and reach the arms overhead, hooking your thumbs. You can even have your arms at your sides. But in this position, your legs will be doing the same thing that we're going to be doing with our legs here on the chair for Sirsasana. So you can follow along regardless. Now, those of you doing Sirsasana, even those of you who know Sirsasana well, it's a good way to work. So watch. Interlacing my fingers to the webbing, but I'm keeping my thumbs apart. The chair's a little in the way, but it'll be fine. Knuckles to the wall, even if you free balance. Elbows shoulder distance apart. Now, just like in what you just did, the outer upper arms flow away. They flow away from the wall towards my hips. I bring the head down into my hands. I kind of move the back of my head into my hands. And I press the outer wrist down. And that upper shoulder blade broadens like it did before. Do you hear that? Now, you turn the toes under, you lift the knees to straight, and you start to lengthen your outer hips up. It changes the shoulder blades a little. Then you get your feet up on the chair and the hips lift up, and it changes the shoulder blades. They're evolving as, I have to put one foot down, the triceps flow to the elbow and the outer armpit opens. Then, once both legs are up, watch. Here's what I'm going to say, and you can see the actions. I'm going to roll the buttock to my heel bones. You see the back rounded. I'm trying to exaggerate as much as I can so you can really see. Then I broaden the mounds of my foot against the chair and the back thigh broadens. You should see a difference in my legs. Then I pull the heels towards the buttock bones. So the buttock bones are going to the heels, but the heels are going to the buttock bones. And it takes me back to the wall. So you can go just this far with me, and that's fine. The frontal thigh, this area is deepening. Outer groins, inner groins, they're deepening. They're lifting up. Then from there, I'm going to say lift one leg. And take it to the wall and up the wall. Then we'll switch sides. And then I'll say press your forearms down, take both legs up. So that then the buttock leaves the wall and I push my heels higher. They stay on the wall, heels up. Mounds of the big toes spread and the heels pull to the buttock as the buttock pulls to the heels. So the legs become active. And to come down, you just come down. And we'll rest. So that's everything we're doing. I'm going to walk you through it verbally. Okay? So you get the distance of your chair, bring it 2 inches closer than the distance between your feet at the wall and your chest. Interlock your fingers all the way to the webbing, thumbs apart. Elbows, shoulders distance apart, but feel the flesh of the outer upper arm. It should roll in the direction of your chair. Now, put the head down, crown of the head on the floor, but back of the head moves into your hands. Go on and let that happen. Press the forearms down and feel how that upper shoulder blade region broadens again. Good. Now, press the outer wrist down, turn your toes under, and straighten your knees. Lift the knees off the floor, straighten the legs. And the forearms press down, the outer wrist press down, and already now your triceps begin to lengthen to the elbows. Good. Step one leg at a time, 1 foot at a time, up onto that chair seat. Try and be either at the middle of the chair seat or kind of towards the front edge. That's it. Press straight down with your toes, don't press back. Keep your forearms and your outer wrists down and feel how your outer armpit is evolving. It's lengthening. In turn, it evolves your shoulder blades. Now, breathe through your nose. With your exhalation, roll the flesh of the buttock into your heels, like you're pushing your heels away. Exaggerate it. It'll feel like too much. And it is ultimately, but that's how you start. Then Broaden the mounds of the foot from the big toe mound to the small toe mound, and feel how kneecaps lift and the back thigh spread from the inner thigh to the outer thigh. Keep that. Now, as the buttock goes to the heels, pull the heels to the buttock. So you really push the chair away with the mounds of the foot. Good, and let the hips come all the way to the wall, but keep the forearms down, shoulder blades lifting. Good, now straight legs, Christy. Right leg now is gonna go straight up. Take it up, keep the actions of your left foot and go on. It's that little bit more, go to the wall. You're right there. That's it. And then take the right leg back down, buttock to the heels, heels to the buttock. Then left leg goes up. Now, if you're lying on the ground with your legs up the wall, you're doing those initial actions, heels, mounds of the foot, and then they press away. Now, if the left leg's at the wall, press the forearms down more and inhale, lift the other leg up. Do that by pressing down through your forearms and wrists. Good. Now, both heels are at the wall. Bring the feet together. Push the heel bones up the wall and feel the flesh of the buttock leave the wall. Buttock to the heels, push the heels higher and higher and higher. Then spread the mounds of the foot. The back thigh broadens. Press the mounds of the foot to the ceiling and feel how the heels pull to the buttock and the buttock pulls to the heels. The frontal leg opens. And keep the forearms down, and the neck will also release and evolve and extend. Good, everybody. Take one leg to the chair, take the other leg to the chair, step off the chair. Child's pose. Just bring your hands under your foreheads, rest for a moment. And then press the floor away. Inhale, come all the way up. Come up to sitting. We're going to set up for shoulder stand. We're going to do one pose before we actually do shoulder stand. We're going to keep the chair and we're going to keep the wall. So what you'll do, the best way to set up will be a chair at the wall like that. But you take your mat out from underneath the chair. And let me think. You're going to set up for shoulder stand in this way. How can we do this? Okay, yeah. Sorry. Just have to put all my thoughts together here. You're going to set up so that your head is pointing towards the chair. So you just open your mat like that. And you take whatever blankets you have, 3 or 4 if you have them. And if you're not doing shoulder stand today, you lie on your back and take Supta Padmasana, which is one leg lifted with a strap. So Supta Padmasana, and I do it right here in front of my on screen, I can't tell. Supta Padmasana would be this pose that many of you know, right? And then you take the leg out to the side with the elbow down. Then you come back up, and in between sides, I would say cross the legs for Supta Swastikasana, and then the second side. So I'll talk to you a little bit about that if some of you are not doing shoulder stand. If you are doing shoulder stand, throw the mat up there on the blankets just for a little extra sticky mat. So first and foremost, we're going to do bolster on mat. So that is, and if you can manage having on the strap, if you're comfortable with shoulder stand, use a strap around your elbows. If you're not comfortable with it, don't use a strap. Right? You just do without. So no big surprise how we're doing this. but I'm going to show you real quick. Your chair should be a leg's distance away from your mat. So a good way to measure it is just sit on the edge of your mat and go, oh, okay, my feet are under the chair. That works. The first thing we're doing is Padmasana, and then the rest of it, you should be able to follow along with me. So Chatush is you hold your ankles, or you step on your fingertips, then you lift your hips and turn the upper arms out. We'll do that first, then you'll bring the hips down. We'll go to the chair, hands on your back, and guess what? Buttock to the heels, spread the mounds of the foot, and pull the heels to the buttock. Then we'll come up from there, okay? So it's kind of fast motion, but that's what we're doing. So go on and lie down. Make sure your chair is far enough away from your blankets so that you don't run into the wall. We're taking Chatush first. So step your heels up onto the bolster. If you can grab a hold of your outer ankles, grab on. If you can't quite grab a hold, turn your palms to face the ceiling and put your heels on your fingertips. All of that's probably going to take place on the bolster. Then take a breath. Exhale, heel bones down. Tailbone lifts to the ceiling. Turn the upper arms out. Heels down. They can even press down and a little forward. Take the tailbone way up to the ceiling and open the chest. Relax the abdomen. Relax the space between your shoulder blades, even as the upper arm bones turn out. Then gently bring the hips down to the ground, palms flat on the bolster. Lift the knees to the chest. So the back rounds down. Take a breath, and with your exhale, kick the legs overhead and onto the chair, and bring your hands onto your back. Walk your hands as high up onto the back as you can. Elbows, shoulders distance apart. Breathe. So, from there, feel your triceps. That's the part of your upper arm bone that touches the blankets. Feel that flow towards your elbows. Walk your hands as high up your back as you can and place the palms flat on the back. Then, exhale and roll the buttock into the heels. Let your back round, roll the buttock, and you'll feel it'll bring your hips more over your shoulders, and that's good. Maintain that. Spread the mounds of the foot from big toe to small toe so that the kneecaps lift and the back of your thighs spread from the inner thigh to the outer thigh. Now keep the buttock rolling to the heels, but now pull the heels towards the buttock. The mounds of the big toes press away, in other words. And as the heels move to the buttock, the frontal groin, lift it to the ceiling. Front thighs, very top front thighs go up. Allowing some space to come into the side body. Now keep that happening with your left leg. Lift your right leg straight. Straight leg goes straight up. Walk your hands up your back. Push the right heel out. But then broaden the mounds of the right foot. Take the right toenails even to the ceiling. Reach them up. Touch the ceiling. Good. Now bring the right leg back down. Capture those actions again. Buttock to the heels, broadening the mound of the foot, bring the heels to the buttock. And it should feel like zing, your front thighs lift. Now other leg is going to lift up. I think it's the left leg now. Keep the right heel moving to the right buttock. Good. Press the mound of the left big toe up and even take the toenails to the ceiling. Good. Now go ahead and lift your right leg up too and be in shoulder stand. Slamba Sarvangasana. Walk your hands up your back. Widen your feet a little more than hips distance for a moment and roll the buttock up into the heels. Really push the heel bones to the ceiling. Now maintain that feeling in the buttock. Tailbone in. Bring the mounds of your big toes together. That's it. Broaden the mounds of the foot. Take your toenails to the ceiling. Open the front of the leg so the front of the spine can lengthen. Breathe. Should feel like, oh yeah, tailbone solid, in, happy. As the body lifts in that way, let the gaze roll towards the center chest. Breathe. And keep dancing with those actions. Smooth, steady breath through the nose. Last minute here. Keep lifting, keep going from those positions. You can go back to the legs apart, right? Half a minute left. Oh, those of you in Supta Baddha or Supta Padangusthasana, switch sides if you're on one side. Feel how that's spreading in the mounds of the foot, Clifford. Yeah, feel how that helps hug your outer ankles and outer shin bones in. Really connect to the mounds of the foot. Yeah. So they go up. That's good. Keep playing with that. All right, everybody. And then you can bring your legs back to the chair seat. You can do one leg at a time or both legs together. Once you're there and you're stable, release your strap. Then you just hook the toenails onto the front edge of the chair seat and bend your knees towards your ears. Carnipidasana. Knees go a little wide. It doesn't have to be all the way down to the floor. If you want your feet on the floor, you can put them down on the floor. It's your choice. But having those toes hooked, the foot hooked, can be quite nice. If you're stable there, you can wrap your arms around your legs and breathe. Then stretch the arms towards the chair, arms straight. Straighten the legs again and awaken the legs again in all those same ways. So the outer leg firms to the bone, mounds of the big toes press away. Feel how those legs slowly lower you back down, vertebra by vertebra, and the hips come down. And once the hips are down, bend the knees, feet flat on the floor. Slide yourself back towards the chair until the shoulders come right off those blankets and the blankets are in your upper back. You can bend your knees if you want. Move the breath into the collarbone region, front chest region. To relax and release any kind of strain that comes to the neck. And then roll yourself onto the side, press the floor away and come up. Open up your mat. We're going to do a really supported, relaxing kind of gentle Setubandha Sarvangasana. All of these actions are going to be present in this pose as well, and you can engage the body quite firmly, but I am going to set you up in such a way that if you're tired at this point, because I've kind of been harping on about these alignment instructions throughout this class in particular, so I'm setting you up in such a way that if you don't follow all that now, you can just relax and it'll be fine, but your body will still be safe. So what you're going to do is sit on the end of a bolster like this. Take your strap, make a loop, put it around your ankles and tighten it. Right around your ankles, make the buckle in front so that it's not on your skin in any way. Pardon me. Some of you know, but some of you may not. So just watch how I get in here and then you'll do the same thing. I get my buttock to the end of the bolster and I roll it towards the back of my knees so that when I lie back, vertebra by vertebra, the spine is lengthened. My head will fall to the ground. My shoulders are not down. That's how we start. You see, I walk the feet in and I push. Try not to wiggle your arms around, but push with your heels and just let the shoulder heads rest towards the floor. They just kind of come down and then there they are. Chest is lifted. Right about at that same spot that the chair was at. Buttock is going to the back of my knees. Then I flex my feet and I push the heels away. You hear how that's similar. Buttock to the heels. I broaden the mounds of the foot, spread the back leg, and then the mounds of the foot also press away. And it encourages the outer gluteals to gather to the midline, tailbone's in, chest is lifted. So you can be quite active here with your legs, or you can relax and everything will kind of stay in place. I would recommend you go in that order, get the tailbone in, feel the activity, and then rest into it. Okay. So get that all set up. To come out, you just kind of have to roll to your side and get up and undo your ankles because you'll be kind of stuck together there. So front of the bolster, tie the ankles together. Most of you are there. I'm just going through it again. Roll the buttock to the back of the knees. Vertebra by vertebra, you come down. Arms to the sides, push with the heels until the shoulders rest on the ground. Feel the lift of the chest, the passivity of the arms and the abdomen. Then push both heels together away from you. Push the heels away, buttock rolls to the heel. Spread the mounds of the foot, back groin opens. Press the mound of the foot away, tailbone in. Feel the outer leg firm to the bone. Outer gluteals gather to the midline and the tailbone stays deeply in. So that you can then lengthen and breathe up the front surface of the spine to the chest. You can keep the body actively engaged, or then you can just relax the legs, the muscles, and just be there. As you rest, breathe into the side ribs, keeping the abdomen soft, passive, receptive. Observe how bringing the breath into the sides of the body helps to roll that lift up under the collarbones and create that spaciousness there at the upper front chest. Jaw, mouth, tongue soft. breath smooth and easy through the nose. We're just going to transition from here into Shavasana, final resting pose. So to come out, bend your knees, feet flat on the floor. Push yourself a little further back towards your head so you have more stability, and roll all the way off the bolster and onto the side. Look down, push the floor away, come up, get rid of that strap. Then set the bolster aside. Lie flat on the back. So again, following along with all the things we've been doing today, when you lie back, have your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, turn the upper arms out. Press one leg away, then the other leg away. Good. If the back feels tired or anything achy, you can rest your calves up on the chair. That's a great way to go, right? Or on a bolster. Or if you can just lengthen the legs out to straight on the floor, do that. And then as you close your eyes, settle in. Feel the body become heavier and heavier. Focus in particular on the exhalation and the length of the exhalation. Smooth, steady, complete exhale. Each exhale is a little bit different than the one that came before. Just like each moment's a little bit different than the moment that came before. Observe the flow of the arms and the legs flowing away from you. Observe the weight of the skull on the earth, like you're just setting the brain down for a little bit. And allowing the body and the consciousness to expand and spread wide. In the Upanishads, they talk about the lotus of the heart, and that region being the little house in the center of you, the place where you live. But that little house is in the shape of your heart, right? And deep inside that space, deep inside you are the sun, the moon, the lightning, and all the stars. And that's what I refer to as the spreading of the body and the spreading of the consciousness into that space of vastness within. Whatever is in the macrocosm is in the microcosm also. So then bring the hands to rest on the frontal body once again. Connect back to this moment. And then bend the left leg, reach the right arm overhead, roll onto the right hand side. Look towards the ground and press the floor away. Come on up to sitting. And that's all for this morning. Namaskar. Good to see all of you here.